Hello and welcome back to Trash TV Review. My name is Dwight Gillespie. I'm your host, and we are here to review Trash TV, or what I call Trash TV. Somebody was telling me that I should update that because there's a lot of different Trash TV. And what I mean by that is two of my favorite shows of all time, as some of you already know, is Steve Wilkos and Maury. And I just think these are great because these two shows show people that ordinary people go through these same things, but these people happen to such an extent that it becomes exaggerated, right? And you look at it and you go, well, if it was like that for me, I'd get out. And that's not always the case, though. But I love looking at these things and seeing where these people are screwing up their lives. And today I got a good one, and it hits to home because this is about people in recovery, right? Now, I've been in recovery for full disclosure. Today is what? Today is April something, right? 29th. Today's April 29th, so we're looking at... not bad. I've been in recovery now for 9 years, 8 months, and 19 days. Okay, so that's how long I've been clean and working a program of recovery. I've been clean at other times longer than that, but that's a different story. And actually, it comes into play here because I never did the things that I was supposed to do or what recovery had required me to do in order to maintain my recovery and to stay clean. And along the way, there have been a lot of suggestions I didn't feel like taking. So we're going to go over this, and we're going to see what these people are doing with their lives. So let's hit it. This is the Maury Show.
You know, I don't think there's anybody out there who doesn't know somebody who is either battling addiction or has beaten it. Everyone welcomes...
See, just so you know, he says, or has beaten it. You never beat addiction. You never beat it. It's an ongoing process, just to let you know. That was the mistake I used to make. I beat addiction. You don't beat addiction. Addiction beats you. So, just so you know. Let's meet this person.
Welcome Samantha to the Maury Show. Samantha is 11 months clean.
Now, just so you know, there's like a thing in recovery, and it doesn't matter what fellowship you're in either. I'm in a particular fellowship that predominantly deals with narcotics. Let's just leave it at that. But every fellowship, whether it's alcohol or food or whatever, they all recommend you don't get into a relationship for the first year of your recovery so that you can have ample time to recover and focus on yourself without focusing on other people and focusing on other things and diverting your attention so that, you know, you are the primary focus of your recovery, right? Because sometimes when we get into relationships, we want to focus on everything else and we want to decide what's wrong with the other person and not so much worry about what we're doing. And my understanding of this and my experience with this tells me that the reason we want to look at the other is because we don't want to look at ourselves. It's easier to see the faults in other people, right? And we do this because we don't want to take that hard look at ourselves. So now this woman's been clean 11 months, right? And she's on here to talk about a relationship. So obviously she's been in this relationship for a little while. All right, so she's been clean for 11 months, or that's what she says anyway. All right, let's go. Yay, yay.
And the man, she said,
yay for somebody not doing drugs when they're not supposed to do drugs. Yay.
Helped turn her life around as her boyfriend, Terry.
Terry turned her life around. Now, I got to tell you something. In fair disclosure, this guy looks like somebody, I don't know this guy at all, but he looks like somebody who somebody very close to me is actually involved with. And I can tell you that this person is a bag, and this guy's got the same look. Just, you can see it, that the smugness, the I'm a really good guy. Watch, here we go.
She actually met in recovery.
Met him in recovery.
But since they've been together, Samantha's come into some money. And today she now wonders if Terry is really with her for love.
He is.
Or is
money.
He just using her like many men have done with her in the past?
Many men.
Before Terry came into my life, there was so much pain and so much heartbreak for both me and my children. That pain caused me to spiral.
So here this woman has kids as well. I mean, listen to her story, you know, and he saved her from all this. People can't save you. They can't save you, right? It just doesn't work that way. You have to work on yourself. You have to save yourself. And that's the only way that this thing really works, especially in recovery. And I know this from personal experience. I know it from watching thousands of people come into the rooms and not get it and run out. It's the same thing, get caught up in relationships. I would say that of everything that brings people out of recovery, relationships is the number one issue that'll bring people out. They get lost in a relationship because love is addictive. Sex is addictive, like all of these things, and focusing on something outside of yourself. That's what that's all about. This woman's got 11 months. I met him in recovery. It's called 13 stepping. When somebody with time waits and preys on, especially with women, it happens both ways. Don't get me wrong. Women do it too. And women justify it by thinking the most sexist thing in the world. Well, men understand about sex. It's just sex. Bullshit. Sex f***s men up as much as it does women. Don't kid yourself, right? We fall in love and we get hurt and all that other crap, and I've heard enough women say that as well. But I've seen men and women do exactly what Terry is doing to this woman, and that is taking advantage. Because even if it works out, it's wrong. And anybody with any amount of time in recovery knows it's wrong to prey on people who are new in recovery. You don't do it. It's called 13 stepping, and it's wrong. It's wrong. Give people a chance to recover. And it's the most unfortunate thing in the world, because I don't care what fellowship it is. And again, I've been in different fellowships. I know it's the same thing. There are predators who wait for these new people to come in and they pounce on them. They pounce on them. I think the hardest thing to be in recovery is a young, attractive person, man or woman. Doesn't matter. It's really, really difficult because there are people there that prey on you and they want to satisfy their own selfish needs and don't mind using you, because that's exactly what it is. Whether he passes this test or not, I don't care. That's what he's doing.
It caused me to spiral into a deep, dark hole. I started using drugs to hide the pain, and my life became a living hell. It wasn't until I got into recovery that my life started to change.
Because that's when she met Terry.
And that is where I met my knight in shining armor.
There you go. And as my friend would say, most knight in shining armors turn out to be in tin foil.
Terry promised that he would love me, be there for me, and never hurt me.
This guy looks like such a man, and you can see it all over him. This is just an observation, by the way, and only my opinion. I don't know if Terry's a or not. I'm just taking a wild guess.
But today, I feel like everything he told me was a lie. I believe that Terry's cheating on me and using me. I don't think Terry's a...
See, and this is the problem. And this is all she's focused on, and this is all she cares about. She's not thinking about recovery or her children or any of these other things. She's worried about Terry cheating on her. Who gives a f***? You shouldn't be with Terry. You should be focusing on yourself and focusing on your recovery.
The man that he portrayed himself to be. I feel shattered and my heart is broken. I need to know if the man I love is lying to me.
The man she's been with this guy less than a year, obviously. She met him in recovery. She's only got 11 months clean, and he probably didn't start her the first day of recovery. So, I mean, how long has she said, oh, I love him? And all she can do is obsess about him. Is he cheating on me? Isn't he cheating on me? What's he doing? What's he doing? There is absolutely no way that this woman can focus on recovery. And I'll be shocked if she's still in recovery now, because this is an older Maury. So I'm telling you, I know this story, and it's unfortunate. This guy is a and as soon as she does leave, he'll take what he can and he'll be out of there, Here we go.
I think we ought to know about your life before you met the guy.
I was in recovery. I chose to go to recovery. I'm apart from my children right now.
Hey, she doesn't even have her kids in her life, and she's not focusing on getting them back. No, she's focusing on Terry.
I lost my fiance.
Where the f*** are your priorities?
And I have 4 small children.
4 kids, 4 small kids, she says. 4 small children that aren't with her right now, right? Child Protective Services probably took them away. And here she is worried about Terry. And what Terry, the love of my life. Now, I look, I don't know, but I'm going to guess that these 4 kids probably don't have the same fathers. I'm going to guess that she goes to love of her life, to knight in shining armor, to knight in shining armor. Again, it's in tin foil, right? Because this is what this woman is about, and it's so unfortunate that she's not being given a chance to recover. And I can't fully blame her because she's sick. And you don't learn how to get over that until you learn that recovery is more important than Recovery is more important than a warm bed at night. And that's what people, look, until you get this straight and start taking these suggestions, it's my experience anyway, and not always, but it's my experience that most of the time that people get involved in this do not make it. They don't make it. Let's keep listening.
Terry, in recovery, I was trying to better my life. Before that, I was in depression.
I was in depression. Like it's a city or something. I was in depression for a while. Not a very nice city. That's a little dirty. Yeah, a little dangerous. Mm-hmm.
I didn't eat. I just stayed in bed all the time. I'd stay in bed till 4 o'clock.
With 4 children, 4 small children. She's staying in bed till 4 o'clock. And now, Terry's here. Terry saved me.
O'clock in the afternoon, go to work, come home, go back to bed. I just stayed in bed.
You poor crazy person.
I felt like I had nothing to live for.
Nothing to live for. Not her 4 children, no. Nothing to live for. Nothing. Till Terry came along. Tonight in shining armor. That in tin foil.
He saved you.
Yes, he did.
He saved you.
He saved me. No, recovery saved her. Recovery saved her, not Terry. And this is the problem. This is another reason you don't want to get involved in these relationships so early. Terry didn't have to do with it. So if she never met Terry, she never would have been saved, right? Nothing saves you. You save yourself, right? You go into recovery. You learn to live with yourself. You learn to accept yourself. You learn to move forward and to go through the steps that they talk about, 12 steps, right? You do these things and you better yourself. Terry didn't save her. Recovery did. But this is where her mindset is now because Terry convinced her of this. I guarantee it. Terry's one of the first ones to tell her, baby, I saved you. Without me, where the would you be? You're nothing but a low-life, you know? Yeah, you got 4 kids by 4 men, and I'm here to save you. You're lucky to have me. And that's what she's putting in this poor woman's head. You have no idea. I have such an urge to pick my nose right now. It really itches up there, but I can't do it. I'm on camera.
What's your biggest fear?
That he's cheating.
I'll scratch.
Or me.
Since the day you met Terry, right? Something's been bothering you.
About a week after we moved,
Since the day they met.
I left everything, left my job. My job gave me a check to get a new house for me and my kids. We've been through a lot of tragedy in the past year and a half.
And you were able to buy a house.
And we were able to buy a house. After I got
After
I got that check, Terry was like, hey, I know of a house. My ex, it's actually his ex's fiance.
So you think he is using you?
Might have
and your
used me
money.
as a step up,
Right.
to get out of the situation he was in.
Do you think maybe Terry's like, wow, I got a free place to live? I wonder.
I see. And then you gave him some money because he had a cruise plan.
Yeah.
It was a strange cruise. Who was on the cruise?
His ex, her boyfriend, and his ex. But I felt like you'd moved me somewhere and left me.
So he's going on a cruise a week after they move in together. Now, this is another thing that they moved in together right away, of course, because that's what you do. We're in love. This is the love of my life. Oh, that's a great plan. And he's going away on a cruise with his ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend and some other whatever, man. Oh, I'm sure this is going to end well.
You know, after 1 week and left me and went on a cruise for a week.
I see.
Yeah. Ah, well, that makes
You think
sense.
something might have happened on the cruise.
Do you think?
8 o'clock at night, he told me he's going to bed. I wouldn't hear it
Going to bed at 8 o'clock at night on a cruise. Oh, yeah, okay.
from him till 11, 12 o'clock the next day. Who goes to bed on a cruise at 8 o'clock at night?
Terry
Gets
does.
up at 12 o'clock.
Oh, but he looks like such a virtuous guy,
What
though.
did you notice on his Facebook after he came back from the cruise?
So when he come back from the cruise, I was going through see who I had talked to because he said he had no service out there. So when I get back,
None.
it says you are now connected to this woman, this lady. You're now connected to this one. You're now
I don't know how that happened.
Are these people he met on the
However,
cruise?
could that have happened?
He denies it. He said he said he sent these ladies friends requests way back when
Way
he was
back.
in recovery. So.
Way back, in the Wayback Machine.
What about the app you found on his phone?
So I found a dating app when Terry was in recovery. When we were in recovery, at first he told me to take a step back and stop calling him so much. He had to focus on his recovery.
Oh, how nice. After he had sex with her, he said, you know, I can't really see you anymore. And then, of course, she had the check coming. And, of course, it was okay then, you know, that, oh, wow, you know, I don't really need to focus on recovery so much. You can buy a house from my ex-girlfriend and we can move in together because all of a sudden I'm recovered enough and I don't really need to focus on that anymore. Here you go. That's wonderful.
But recently I noticed noticed it was a dating app on his phone.
A dating app?
And he
For
had
what?
been talking to women on dating apps. But I was taking the energy out of his
They're
recovery,
just friends.
but they weren't, you know?
Right.
Multiple,
Yeah,
20 ladies he was talking to.
20 of them.
And then you heard like a comment that a coworker made to him, right?
Yeah, we had a coworker. She was 21 years old. She made some sexual comments to him. He goes, "I'm thirsty. You got a water?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right over there." And she's like, "I got some spit in my mouth if you want it." And he said, "No, thank you." He says, "No, thank you," but then like
He said no thank you. He was very polite about it. No thank you. No spit today. I don't know why she said that.
miles. So every time I'd be looking around the corner, we work at the same place, I'd look around, he's smiling at her, flirting, he's flirtatious.
See, now right here, look, I got to say, like, again, this is why you don't get into a relationship for the first year. This woman is crazy. Like she's so obsessed with this, right? Like nothing is ever going to be good enough. Even if this guy passed the test, it won't matter. When they get back home or whatever happens after this, she's obsessed with this. Like every little thing, because she's so insecure. She's so unaware, right? That she can't handle this stuff. This is why you don't get involved with people for at least a year. And I tell people, because I sponsor people, I have a sponsor, and to me, I say, until you do, there's 12 steps. I say, until you do at least a 7th step, you don't get involved with somebody. You don't even know who you are yet. You don't know who you're giving to this person. You don't know who you are yet. You don't even like you. What the hell is anybody else going to like about you, you know? This woman is so highly insecure, and this guy is such a smug bag. I mean, you can see it. And look, maybe he's not around, maybe he is around. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. This guy is no good, and I'm telling you, it's never going to end well. It's never going to end well. It's going to end with him stealing this house that they bought together. I guarantee it. Like, this is not going to end well.
What'd you find in his car?
In my car?
Oh, your car.
Yeah, in my car.
Because he doesn't have a car, right? In my car, because she pays the bills. He don't work, right?
I
it's
found
your
a
car.
headband.
Oh, a headband.
A blue one, smells like perfume. We were at work. I got it out of the van. I brought it up to the house we were working at. And I said, "Whose is this?" And he's like, "Where was that?" I said, "In the van." And an hour later, he said it's his daughter's.
Then there was a woman apparently who approached him on the street where you.
Yeah, I went into Dollar General. My children were in the car. I went into Dollar General, come
One of
out.
them hot glass
He rolls
stores.
down his window. This lady's like, "Hey, TJ, it's been a while. Look at this pic of you and so, and talk for 6 minutes." I mean,
See, now just the fact that he stopped and talked to another woman, just to talk to another woman, this woman freaks out. Like what kind of a relationship can you possibly have with somebody when you're that paranoid that him stopping to talk to a woman who just says, "Oh, you know, I have a pic of you and I way back when. Look, isn't it cool? You know, remember this person?" And that this woman, for 6 minutes, and she counted, for 6 minutes. She doesn't say they talked for like 5 or 10 minutes. No, she says, for 6 minutes. 6 minutes! That's insane. Like, that's Looney Tunes, cuckoo. So even if they're together, like, I can only imagine how often these people must fight, because anything this guy does is under the thumb, right? Because on top of that, she's probably paying all the bills from the way it sounds here, because, you know, he was going to he was getting away from his recovery, you know, and then she came into some money, and all of a sudden, you know, they're together and buying a house. This is crazy. This is crazy talk. They're living in crazy town.
I got out of the van, had a cigarette, and sat there. I was pissed. And I don't even know if he knew I was there, existed at the time.
Because for 6 minutes, he talked to another woman. Crazy.
And he's like, and then she leaves, and he goes, "That's an old friend." I'm like, "You're not going to introduce me as your girlfriend?"
Why would I?
Like,
Introduce you at all. I was talking to somebody for a couple minutes.
And then there are some Facebook messages you've seen.
It's from where I used to work. He says it's ladies that he used to work with. It's nothing serious. They have boyfriends. But my thing is, 3 or 4 months later, after you've left that job, why you still message?
Well, because 3, 4 months. What do you need those friends for? You have me. I'm the only friend you need. That's crazy. Again, this is an obsessive compulsive individual who is absolutely addicted to Terry, her tin foil.
Him, you know, and going back and forth.
Okay.
And you see these women in the clapping. Yeah, you should have no other friends. You should be just with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'll pay for everything. I'll take care of everything, and you don't ever have to go anywhere. Yeah, oh yeah, that's going to be healthy. Oh.
You love this guy, right?
I love him.
I love him. Listen, I love him. I love this man who can't talk to another woman for 6 minutes, who went on a cruise a week after we got together, who I think is stealing from me, who I think is all these women. I love him. I love him so much. Oh, God. Listen, people, when you say this kind of I can't let you get away with that without asking you the all-important question. What do you love about this person? And you can't tell me something so ridiculous as, I love what they have the potential of being. No. What do you love about them? I love pasta. I can't eat it anymore, right? I've lost 65 pounds. I don't eat pasta, but I love pasta. I tell you what I love about it. I love the way it tastes. I love the texture. I love the things that you can put with it. I love everything about it, right? I love when you salt the water when you make the pasta so that the salt goes into the pie. You taste it. Oh, God, that's beautiful, right? So I tell you what I love about it, right? What do you love about this guy? What do you love about this person? This person that you're addicted to, you say you can't live without. Oh, I can't. I love him. Look at him. I love him. I love him. Why? She just ran down a litany of things. But he saved me. No, he didn't. He didn't save you. As a matter of fact, he detracted from your recovery. He took you out of what was saving you, right? And here you are, addicted to him instead of whatever drug you were addicted to before him. Because that's what recovery is about. It's about addiction. And you can be addicted to stuff. You can your life up without drugs. And alcohol is a drug, folks. Sex can be a drug. Food can be a drug. Love can be a drug. All of these things can be drugs. Spending, porn, all of these things are drugs. They're drugs. And when you replace one with another, that's all you're doing. You're not getting better. You're just changing, what do they say, called changing seats on the Titanic. You're still going down, motherfucker. You're just going down in a different fucking seat with a different view. That's it. Look at, I love him. I love him.
He helped you out.
Helped you out. Oh, he's a fucking champ. Brought you back from what?
What's
He
gonna happen
didn't.
if he fails his test?
He's gonna have to go.
Oh, no, he won't. No, he's going to, look at, I love the, here's Terry. Here he comes. I'm telling you, this guy looks just like the guy I'm talking about. And the guy I'm talking about talks all this recovery, right? And he's with somebody who I love dearly. And this person can't let him go. They've broken up a dozen times. And every time they break up, she tells me, I'm done with him. I'm done. He's a piece of shit. He's fucking other women. He's da-da-da-da. And eventually he's back because this person that I love so dearly is just as sick as the guy. And he manipulates her and he talks all that bullshit. And he must have a good line of bullshit or a big, I don't know what it is, but he talks his way back in there every time. And this guy looks just like him, that slick hip bullshit, talking all that slick shit. Talking all that recovery. Oh, baby, I'm going to teach you. Yeah, I'll be your higher power. Yeah, baby, I'm the only God you'll fucking need. And here we go. Here, let's meet Terry. It blows her a kiss.
Is there anything I asked her that
off.
you haven't been accused of doing?
She's pretty jealous, and I think that she's just overreacting.
You've helped each other, right? Get clean.
Yes, we have.
And you should be proud because you've been several months into recovery.
Yes.
Oh, you see, and there it is. He's only several months himself, right? So he's really full of now, several months. She's got 11 months. Several months is not even 11 months, right? So this guy found his other drug as soon as he got in there. He hooked up with a girl who could pay his bills. Good for him.
So I guess my question is, as far as the headband, why did it take so long for you to come up with an answer on?
That's my question. I brought you here on national television to ask you about a headband.
On whose it was. I mean, why was it in the van?
My daughter was in the car.
You know
days
that.
before
Baby,
that.
I love you, baby.
Teenage daughters, and they were in the car.
And then the connecting with the ladies, You left me for a cruise, and you had all these.
You know I felt bad about going on that cruise.
I felt so bad about going on that cruise, baby. You don't know. I barely even enjoyed myself while I was gone. Why go?
You had all
You know I felt bad for leaving you there.
You had all these.
Then why did you leave her there? If you felt so bad, just say, you know what? I'm going to eat the money. I'm not going on the cruise. You guys have a good time. Enjoy, right? I'm there in spirit, yeah? No, because my woman here that I'm with, that we just moved in together a week ago, it really upsets her that I'm going away on a cruise for a week. So I'm not going to do it. No. Baby, I felt really bad about having to do that. And I felt really bad about having to fuck these women out there. Like, I felt terrible about that. I mean, I had to do it. You know, what am I going to? I'm a man. I can't turn down now, can I? Yeah, okay.
Ladies connected. Connected on Facebook while you're on the cruise.
No,
I got to tell you something, too. With people that whine like that, and this woman can't help but talk. She whines when she talks, and that gets on my nerves. Anyway, oh, God. Anyway.
This is now connected on Messenger.
Show it to me.
See, show it to me, right? I love that. Hold on. I want to back that up a second. Hold on. We're going to go back a second.
I felt bad for leaving you there.
You had all these ladies connected. Connected on Facebook while you were on the cruise.
No, I didn't.
This is now connected on Messenger.
Show it to me. I don't.
Right? Show it to me. Prove it to me. You ain't got no proof. I done deleted all that. You ain't got nothing. You got nothing, Your Honor. Yeah. Okay. I would love to see this guy's rap sheet. I bet this guy's got fraud. He's written bad checks. He's defrauded people out of property. I guarantee it, right? He got that look of a pillhead. He's a pillhead or a speed freak. One of those. Yeah, I see him. I know who he is. Come on.
No, I didn't talk to any ladies on the cruise.
None.
Any.
Not any. What? Hold on.
Except the people serving me drinks.
Now, there you go. That's the one I love because I saw this before. I knew I did. Except the people serving me drinks. Hold on. We're going to play that back one more time, right? And then I want to remind you something. Here we go. Let's just go back about 10 seconds. Yeah, let's listen. Listen close.
This is now connected on Messenger.
Show it to me. I didn't talk to any ladies on the cruise. Any. Except the people serving me drinks.
Except the people. This is a man in recovery. Except the people serving me drinks. What drinks? You're in recovery. This woman's helping change your whole life and keep you off of drugs. She's serving me. Alcohol, my friend, is a drug, right? No. I said, there isn't a recovery program that deals with drugs that doesn't tell you not to use alcohol. So whether he's in NA or AA or CA, all of them, alcohol strictly forbidden. The women who served me my drink, what do you think? What drinks do you think he's talking about? His Shirley Temples? His Coca-Colas? No. When people say the woman serving me my drinks, what they're talking about is alcohol. All right. This guy's, he's already relapsed. He just said it. He's using, right? It's only alcohol though. No. I'm a heroin addict as long as I only drink. Yeah. Okay. All right. And Maury doesn't know anything. Maury. Anyway, he doesn't know. He's not in recovery, so he doesn't know how this works. I am, and I know how it works, and I know that this guy's a bag.
She thinks from the first week you all were with each other that you haven't been honest with her. How's that make you feel?
It disappoints me. It really does.
Disappoints me.
Because I took
You would think somebody that I knew for 3 weeks before we moved in together would be more intimate with me and give me more trust and, confidence in me. Yeah.
I could see my mom for Thanksgiving dinner.
I brought her to meet my mother before she bought me a house.
Just anyone to see my mother. Because my mother's hard. And I introduced her to my kids.
Right.
I don't introduce.
And to me, the worst.
What he's trying to say is I'm not just f***ing her anymore. I'm actually with her.
Cut of all is that she thinks you're using her.
Yeah, that breaks
I think
my
he
heart.
is too. It breaks my heart.
Really
That just shatters my heart.
I could have stayed where I was at. I would have been fine. This was an opportunity for her to get a house, to get her kids back, and I presented it to her, and she wanted to be committed with me.
But then why did you have to move in with her? She could have bought that house and you didn't have to move in with her. Why? Well, because you wanted to. You weren't better off where you were, because if you were, you would have stayed.
And that was a chance for us to be committed, so I presented that opportunity to her.
You should be committed, all right.
When she sees that coworker make those inappropriate comments to you.
She's just a young, childish
Okay, this is
I can't be held responsible for the actions of other people, Maury.
Terry's answer at nighttime, though. When I would confront what she had said or the rude comment, she's
at night when she wants to go over every single minute of the day and all the things that he did wrong and have to explain himself over and over again. This woman should not be in a relationship. This woman should be doing some serious 12-step work on herself and probably have a lot of outside help and outside counseling, therapy, all of these things that this woman could probably really use if she truly wanted to better her life. And this is what we talk about, right? Not just on this podcast, but on my other podcast as well, the Change Your Life podcast. This is who I want to talk to. Because this woman, she's nuts, but she doesn't have to be. She said it coming into here, right? She talked about, like, every man I've ever been with has abused me. And here comes this guy. And if you don't do any work on yourself, what makes you think that it's going to change? What makes you think that this one is going to be any different? If you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same result every single time, right? It's that old cliche. It says if you do the same thing, right, you get insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result every time, right? And that's what she's doing here. Like, oh yeah, he tells me he promised me the world, and and I bet they didn't know each other 2 weeks when they found out they were so hopelessly in love. 2 weeks into a relationship, you don't even know who the hell you're with. You don't know until the sex stops. That's when you start knowing. And that's why I'm a big proponent of not as soon as you meet, right? Because the people that you get involved with that are going to like nobody, you don't want to be with that person. Get to know them first before you give yourself like this. And it's not old fashioned. It's self-protection. So many people I know, especially young women, who say, why doesn't he respect me? Why doesn't he? Because you had sex with him right out of the gate. And that's the guys that are going to be okay with that are not the guys you want to be with. You want to be with a good guy. And guys, you want to be with a good girl. When the two of you meet and you have sex right away, it's not a good thing. It really isn't. And it just because you don't know each other yet. And you get to know each other after that. And that's putting the cart before the horse, man. It really is. And that's what's going on here. She's not a bad person. She's just been over by every guy that she's ever known. And she wants to be in love so badly it hurts. And she's willing to get with these fucking bags in order to achieve it.
She said
it's a shame.
The sexual thing she would say, Terry would say, you cannot take it out on me. I didn't do it. She's doing it.
Right.
Okay, but when she's
But he's right about that.
She's doing it and you're smiling
But what's he supposed to do?
Okay.
Back, you heathen. Like, what do you want me to do? Off, like, I'm not going to do that. That's why you're here, honey.
So, yes, we work around a lot of men, okay? So I smile stuff, and just so work goes okay.
Yeah, you can
he
cut
accuses
up with
me.
guys,
right.
If
but
a girl cuts up with me and I laugh about
it's
wrong.
He didn't start accusing me of cutting up with the guys at work until she left and lost her job. So once she wasn't around for him to cut up with, it wasn't
There's a
all right.
conspiracy. Every time I talk,
it's a conspiracy. Oh yeah. When she left, then you worried about me with the guys.
Talk to her, you get jealous.
You're going to pass this test?
Yes, I'm going to pass it.
I believe he will.
Yes.
I've seen it actually, so I know he does. But I'm going to tell you, and we also have to discuss this. There's a reason why they can't accept polygraph tests. They're not admissible in court, and there's a reason for that. A real sociopath would pass a lie detector test. As one of the great lines from George Costanza to Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry had to take this lie detector test, and he's George. If anybody could beat a lie detector test, it was George, right? And Jerry goes to George. He says, "George, how do I beat the test?" And George is like, "I can't tell you that, Jerry." It's like, I forget the exact line that he gives right there. But what he says to end it all, he says, "I can tell you this." He says, "It's not a lie if you really believe it." And I love that line. It's not a lie if you really believe it. And that's this. A sociopath can convince themselves of anything.
Use again, because that life.
I'm not good. Now, all right. I'm sorry. Hold on. We're going to go back. Let's go back another 7 seconds here. I want to hear that again.
Either way, I know I can't go back out and use again.
He says he can't go back out and use again because that life is no good, right? But he already has. He already said that he was on the cruise drinking. You're not getting the drinks served. So he already has. He's already relapsed. You know, he can't go back. He's several months clean. He's hooked up with a crazy chick. He's drinking. Like, where do you think this guy's going to be in 6 months? He's going to be right back where he was. He's going to rob this woman of, I would love to see a follow-up on this. He's going to rob her of everything she has, right? Her daughter or whatever. Oh, no, the kids are small, so probably not. But if she had a teenage daughter, I guarantee he'd be trying to, right? Because he's got that look. This is just who this guy is. You can see it. Again, this is only my opinion. I think I have to do that disclaimer, right? This is only my opinion. You know, this is not fact, and I have nothing to back it up other than years of experience of watching people like this work, watching them manipulate others. And there he is. Go ahead. Come on.
That life, no matter what.
No matter what.
I just can't do it. No matter what happens between me and her, I can't go do that again.
Nah.
I can't.
Nah.
Can you stay in recovery without him?
Yes, I can.
Stay in the recovery without him. She hasn't been in recovery with him. Like, she'd have to get back into recovery. I guarantee this woman hasn't made a meeting in a month and a half at least. Since he went on the cruise, she hasn't made a meeting. She's like, oh, no, where you gotta stay home and watch Terry. Yeah. Gotta watch that.
Terry, that's the thing about Terry is I was bad, Maury. I was
bad.
depressed. I couldn't eat nothing in a dark hole, spiraling backwards.
yeah.
Like I didn't see no hope for tomorrow.
Nothing.
Until I met him.
And then Terry
since
came.
I met him,
Bright light.
I've gotten into a relationship with God and I go to church and
Guys, so Terry is God.
Ralph, you want to help me out here? Anything you want to say to him before I read the results?
I want to say that everything that we've gone through, it's really hurt.
See, now look, you're 11 months into a relationship. And again, this is another barometer thing for me when I say, well, what do you really love about this person, right? You're 11 months into everything we've gone through. Like we've been through hell. You're 11 months into a relationship. You shouldn't be through all of these things. It shouldn't be that difficult. Yes, relationships take work. Relationships take patience. Relationships take negotiation, compromise, all of those wonderful things. But if you're going to sit there 11 months into a relationship and say, everything we've been through, get the out of that relationship. Get out. Get out. Because that's all it is. It's one fight after another. It's me constantly on top of you, making sure you're doing what you're saying you're doing. Because I have to control every ass. She's a control freak, and so is he. You know, there's a reason. Look, your gut is always accurate, man. Your gut is telling you this person is not trustworthy. Get out. Get it. I love him so much. What do you love? You're so in love after 11 months and have been through so many fights with this person and so much bullshit. You can't get out? My friend, you're not in love. You're an obsession. You're an addiction. That's addiction. You are addicted to this person, and you are bound and determined to make them love you no matter what. And it's never going to work. This is your life now. And you are either going to accept that this person is a bag, right? Again, and I know the outcome of this, but you're going to have to accept this or move on. This woman's she's never going to trust anybody until she learns to trust herself. I guarantee the 4 kids that she's talking about, which she doesn't have in her life, and she doesn't seem very concerned about. I got to tell you, this isn't about, oh, geez, I really want to get my kids back. I'm glad I got the house. Everything's together. We're going to, the CPS is coming to check no, none of that. She barely mentioned the kids. This is all about her and Terry. This woman is so self-centered and so focused on herself, right? We say in addiction, addiction is the most self-centered disease in the world, right? And this is it right here. This shows you this woman doesn't give a shit about anything other than what is Terry doing? How is Terry doing it? Who's he doing it with? When's he doing it? 6 minutes talking to another woman, right? All of that bull. Terry's not allowed to go to a recovery meeting with her. You know, they can't go. I was in this. This is my first marriage. I met her in a fellowship, right? And it became absolutely hard. And it was me. Like, it was me. I was her. I was her in the relationship, right? Absolutely paranoid and crazy about who she was with, what she was doing. We would go to meetings together, right? And it was impossible because she would say, so she'd share where you're at, right? You share where you're at, all that bullshit, right? And after the meeting, what are you talking about that stuff for? That's our business. And you were only telling your side of it, you know? Of course she was only telling her side. To me, she's talking about where she's at, right? Not where I'm at. And I'm telling you from experience, I was absolutely insane. I was maybe 58 days clean when I met this love of my life, right? And when people warned me, right, like I would warn this woman, I said stupid shit like, oh, you're jealous of true love. You're jealous, right? You know, and all that crap. You know, listen, every young person believes that they invented shooting dope and f***ing. Like nobody ever did either one of those things before this generation came along. You know, and let me tell you something. From the first time that man discovered that sex was fun and it wasn't just about procreation, right then and there, all the sex positions were done. Like there ain't no new sex positions coming out, folks. It's been done hundreds, thousands of years ago. Get over yourself, you know. But this is it. This is doomed. This is doomed.
Because you are my knight in shining armor since the day
right.
I met you at that fishing.
Now you have to think about that too. You are my knight in shining armor. Is this and I talk about this a lot too in my other podcast, Change Your Life. Go check it out. Right? We'll put a link, won't we? Right? We'll put a link. Yes. Yeah. And but this is what I'm saying. You know, again, what do you love about this person? You are my knight in shining armor. I talk about when I was a kid, I was brought up by somebody. It says right here, right? This is my book, Price Tags, which is out now, by the way. You can get it on Amazon.com. You can get it on BarnesandNoble.com, right? It says right here, there's a blurb, one of the things I write, and it says, you know you have to be very talented to be a writer, and I just don't think you are. You'd better have a backup plan for when you fail at this. And that was my mother during any one of her 3,612 pep talks when I was 9 years old, right? Like the first thing I wrote, I was 9 years old. I wrote my first story, and it was about I say this all the time, it was about a window with a baseball about to come through. I won a prize. And I fell in love with writing ever since. It was a great way to express myself without having to talk. And because showing emotions in the family I grew up in was not very smart. But I was brought up by people who said, you're a piece of shit, I love you. You're a piece of shit, you're never going to amount to anything, but I love you. You're this, but I love you, but I love you, but I love you. So what I started to associate love with was negativity. Like love to me meant abuse. Love to me meant I wasn't good enough. Love to me meant that I was a piece of shit, never going to amount to anything, never going to be anything, and everything I ever tried, I would fail at. That's what love, I began to define love at a very young age as something that hurt. Right? That's where this woman sounds like she's at. Like he's my knight in shining armor. And her knight in shining armor makes her feel like shit. Her knight in shining armor makes her doubt herself, makes her question herself, puts a knot in her stomach, gets her so crazy and obsessed, she forgets about her own children and obsesses on him. That's what her knight in shining armor does, right? That's not a knight in shining armor. That's an obsession. That's a in tin foil. I think I said it about half a dozen times. I don't know if I can say it enough, right? That's not a knight in shining armor. This is a manipulative piece of shit, right? Who is abusing her, just like every other man has done. And the reason that this is allowed to continue is because she allows it to. Like people can't make you do these things. He didn't force himself into her life. She opened the gates. And it is difficult in that moment to say no because you're looking for a savior. You're looking for all these things. But people, the only person that can save you is you. You know, if you're in, and I say this all the time, if you're in an insane relationship with an insane person, if you want to see the most detrimental, crazy person in that relationship, go to the fucking mirror and look at it. Because that's the person who's fucking you up more than anybody else in that relationship. And it's you. Because you're the one that makes the decision day after day to put up with this crap. To put up with somebody who makes you feel like that. Because even if he's telling the truth, right? Even if he is, it doesn't matter. This is the way you feel. Give yourself a chance to recover. Give yourself a chance to at least like yourself. And if you like yourself, maybe you'll find another mate who'll like you as well. This is very difficult. It's hard to watch. My knight in shining armor. I love him so much.
Park and you walked over and asked me to carry my chairs. Like I fell in love.
That's all it took. That's all. Here, you hear that? I'm sorry. Here we go. One more time.
Park. You walked over and asked me to carry my chairs. Like I fell in love from that day.
Because he carried her chairs.
A month or two later.
You talk about low expectations. He carried my chairs. Yeah, what? And then he let you buy him lunch because he was between jobs at the time, you know?
When you told me to stop calling you because I was getting in the way of your recovery, it's like I was broken all over and those past relationships come up.
Well, that's not.
Right. You told me to stop calling you because I was getting in the way of your recovery. Yeah. And then I got the check.
Not what I intended for. I was trying to focus on my recovery. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Which is probably would have been a good idea, which I think it's all bullshit anyway. I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Did you cheat on Samantha when you went on a cruise with your ex last year? Terry, you said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth.
Sociopath. And that makes her so happy, right? But they'll have to be here 3 months from now because he's going to have to account for every single day. It's not going to matter. Because another thing about a woman like this, by the way, a person like this, is because it's not exclusive to women, is that it doesn't matter. Because she'll go home and go, well, now you think you have a license to cheat because we went on Maury and you told the truth. You can't win. Like, it's a no-win situation. And she's crying over this. Oh, honey. Oh, he's in for the of his life.
Did you start to date Samantha because you wanted to use her for a place to stay?
Of course not.
You said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth.
I want to know how he did it. I want to know how he beat it. This guy's so full of...
During your relationship with Samantha, have you ever cheated on her with any other women you've messaged on social media with? You said no. The lie detector test.
And that right there is a tell. When people, they do that little flick of the nose like he's doing, right? That's a tell. If you're playing cards against this guy and you say, you really got that full house? He goes, yeah. That motherfucker ain't got no full house. He's bluffing, right? This guy is full of and I don't know how he beat the test, but he did.
That's determined you're telling the truth.
Yeah. See? This guy is a cold-blooded killer. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a serial killer, man. I'd look for bodies buried under the old house he was living in. Oh, baby, I love you so much. I wonder how close they live to the Green River. Yeah. We're not finished.
Terry, during your relationship with Samantha, have you ever had sexual contact of any kind with any other
Perish
woman?
the thought.
You said no, and Ralph, the lie detector test determined you are telling the truth.
He f***s dudes. Because there's no way this guy's been true. I don't buy it. Nah, I ain't buying it. I still say he's full of shit. But that's why, look, you have to go home and have a life. This is why, go home and have a life. Yeah, go home and have a life. Yeah, okay. A life beyond their wildest dreams, I'm sure. That's it. That's the video. There's no more I can do to sum it up. These people are in trouble. This is destined for divorce court or even criminal court, I think, because I think he's capable of killing her at some point, and probably getting away with it too. He'll take a polygraph. No, I didn't chop her up into little pieces and put her in mason jars. Why would I do such a thing? I loved her. She was the love of my life. I was her knight in shining armor. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's it. That's our video for today. As you see, I got my San Diego gear on. I'm heading on vacation next week, and I'm really looking forward to it. I love it out there. I live in New York City, so you can understand why I like going out there. I bid you all well. Go if you like this, if you enjoyed it, please like it, subscribe, share it with your friends, and by all means, go over to my other channel. It's called Change Your Life, which has a very different tone. We try to take out all the bad language because I do like to curse a lot. Is one of my favorite words. It's the most universal word in the English language. I do use it a lot. We don't really use it over there. And it's more of a direction of things you can do to avoid situations like this so you don't wind up on places like The Maury Show and Steve Wilkos. And until then, I'll talk to you next time, people. Thank you very much. Have a great week.